The life and music career of P Diddy is officially done. What happened to him inside a jail is chilling, as new reports revealed how his life has been behind bars. But to understand his new circumstances, you first need to hear why he is in the top-level security jail cell. As the famous rap lawyer would go on to explain,
I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing about Diddy being locked up right now, facing mandatory minimums, the possibility of life in federal prison. Go read the transcript from the bond hearing and listen to what the defense says they believe is the start of the feds looking into P Diddy. See, the defense says, my read of it, many months ago, a woman approaches Diddy and says, hey, this is through lawyers, we're gonna be releasing a tell-all book about this woman's experience with Diddy over all the years. And it's gonna make you look like a monster. And if you don't want that book to get out there, you can buy the exclusive rights to it for $30 million. Catch and this book. Diddy's team says no. Woman comes back with a lawyer. We're going to file a civil lawsuit against you because it's not just stuff that makes for good print. These are civil claims that we can bring and we can win millions of dollars. Diddy's team says, okay, bring the lawsuit.
As Diddy's lawyers believe that there is nothing truly wrong about their client, telling the ex-girlfriend to go ahead, submit the lawsuit, show the entire book of evidence that she has against him, and well, she would do just that. She would end up submitting a copy of the entire book to Diddy and his lawyers. Then just hours later, Diddy folded, and he would end up paying up the $30 million to keep her quiet.
They bring the lawsuit, and within like hours, it's settled for, surprise, surprise, $30 million. After those things happened, a line of people came with stories to get their check too. Hey, if she got 30 mil, what can I get off this guy? I was there, I saw this, I heard that. And that then led to a federal investigation. See, people think, oh, somebody's out to get him, he pissed off the wrong person, it's the alcohol company that, nah. You guys gotta understand that there's prosecutors out there who want big C cases. They don't fall out of the sky every day. The chance to go after somebody like P Diddy and put him away for life is like the greatest case you could ever find if you're a prosecutor. And so when a public filing gets released and you read it and you go, wait a second, that law firm is mad thorough. Wait a second, he settled it for 30 million. Wait a second. If all of this is true, then I could probably get some subpoenas. I could probably collect some evidence. I could probably build a case. They start doing.
As the book of evidence against Diddy makes him a very high priority federal criminal. When becoming this high of a criminal, they can only be placed into certain jail cells. Depending on the crime that you are facing, you can't just go to a regular jail. Whether you're a high-level celebrity or not, you'll be treated the exact same. Diddy was placed into a jail that has 10 walls of defense of the chance the criminal could somehow escape. Diddy is being held in the Brooklyn Federal Jail on a 23-hour hold with 1 hour of free time per day. However, this is where it gets scary, as a report would come out saying that this is already affecting Diddy, and this is when it would be announced. Diddy has been placed on routine S-word watch at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. Mark, Diddy's attorney, said that the music mogul was not at all S-word while they were together in federal lockup yesterday, as today completely changed, making many online make fun of Diddy for committing the crimes that he did, but barely being able to last 1 day inside a jail. And if you believe Diddy deserves this punishment, make sure you leave a like on the video, as this would even get the attention of Charleston White, who definitely agrees that Diddy deserves this.
Me and Diddy his son's girlfriends. Come on, homie. I fucking his son's girlfriend. Oh, he a sick motherfucker, homie. The Bible describes evil people being in high places like Puff Daddy. Evil don't exist down here. It exists up here. It lurks down here, but it exists up here. And we're all of us down here trying to go up there with evil.
Right.
Almost everything up here is evil. Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, you can't get up here if you ain't evil. It's a glass ceiling for those that's not evil. You can only go that high if you evil.
As Charleston would also end up revealing the new documents against Diddy. When starting a RICO case, everything gets outlined for the courtroom. I was able to pull the file online, and it reads, and I quote, Sean Diddy Combs, a prominent figure in the music industry, was recently arrested on serious federal charges, including violations of the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, otherwise known as RICO, alongside several charges of trafficking. His arrest followed a grand jury indictment indictment that claims that he operated a criminal enterprise for over a decade. The allegations against Diddy paint a disturbing photo of an empire built on not just music, but also an illegal activity such as trafficking, forced labor, and many unspeakable acts with many people. This would end up being confirmed online by a lawyer.
According to the New York Times, Sean Combs, aka Diddy, was arrested after a grand jury indicted him. The indictment is sealed and the charges have not been announced yet, so we gonna have to wait and see for some docs to come out. But for now, it's been confirmed that Diddy is in federal custody. A statement from Diddy's legal team says that they were disappointed with the decision to prosecute Diddy and noted that he had been cooperative with the investigation and had voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Diddy is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community.
As she would end up explaining that Diddy gave himself up, living in a New York hotel so then if the feds ever wanted him arrested, he was nearby. This does make him seem confident that he will beat the case in the end. However, his hopes and dreams of beating the case would end up being crushed when a former bad boy artist speaks on Diddy's recent arrest and says that Diddy destroyed his life.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
As moments after his arrest, his mansion would be raided. What they found would end up going viral online as it would be announced. The Diddy indictment references what was seized during the raids at his home in Beverly Hills in Miami, from various supplies including narcotics, as well as more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil were found. They also seized firearms, including firearms with defaced serial numbers, which is extremely illegal in the United States, and this is something they take very serious in a courtroom. But it's what happened next that went viral. A photo of a mansion bathroom filled with baby oil bottles covering half of the floor would end up going viral online. It would end up making its rounds, and then we would even see 50 Cent react, saying, and I quote, "I am keeping good company with the Barry Show, and I also don't have 1,000 bottles at the house," making the entire situation go crazy. This would end up going viral online. Diddy's lawyer would end up having to speak out for Diddy to try to calm everyone down. He would end up saying, and I quote, "Diddy's lawyer says that he's expecting the unsealed indictment to have trafficking and racketeering charges, and he admits that Diddy came to New York to turn himself into cops on an agreeable time with the U.S. Attorney Office, but he ended up getting arrested unexpectedly. He says that he'll push bail for Diddy. However, this is where the situation gets scarier. The RICO charges are especially significant in this case because this implies that Diddy was not acting alone at all of these parties and illegal activities that he was running, and instead it shows that he is the head of a larger organized criminal operation. If it was just Diddy doing all of these illegal activities, he would be charged alone. A RICO case is when multiple people are involved. The enterprise he was running was allegedly using demands, targeting, and manipulation to go after people. Key accusations including parties that are labeled as a freak-off, where people were pressured into certain activities, as witness would claim that their actions that they were partaking in were ending up being filmed by Diddy and his crew for leverage, so then the witnesses can never say what truly happened to them. Diddy is also accused of orchestrating interstate and international transportation of literal people. The RICO statute, originally designed to tackle organized crime, makes Diddy's situation even worse, as it allows prosecutors to target the broader network that are involved, as Diddy is right now facing 3 original charges, with them all being:
Count 1 is for racketeering conspiracy, and according to this website, for a racketeering conspiracy charge, the government does not have to prove that the alleged enterprise was actually established, only that you, along with others, conspired or agreed to participate in the enterprise. Count 2 is for trafficking by force, fraud, or And then count 3 is transportation to engage in.
However, included in his indictment was a no bail agreement. Allegedly, this has only happened a handful of times against criminals in the United States. It's only brought out when the criminal did the extreme of the extreme level of crime.
Now, what has also been made public today is the detention memo, which is basically a letter from the government to the judge explaining why Diddy should be held in jail and not released on bond. It's about 16 pages, and there are a few things that I want to talk about from this letter. First up, it says that he's expected to appear in court today, and worth noting, this is a federal case, so don't expect any cameras. And the document says, as set forth below, there is no condition or combination of conditions that will reasonably assure the appearance of the defendant as required and the safety of others and the community, not to mention the integrity of the proceedings. So again, this letter is to basically argue why Diddy should be held in jail and not released to the public.
As when only a few hours later, the judge would end up making his official announcement following Diddy's bail, which ended up going viral online, leaving Diddy alone in his jail cell, overthinking and crying because of the charges that he's about to face.
Judge has decided that Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, aka P Diddy, aka PD, will remain detained, as in he gotta stay in jail until his trial. Now again, since federal cases are not streamed, there are some reporters in the courtroom that were providing updates on X, so that's who I'm going to use. Then the judge comes back and rules that in this case, I find the presumption has not been rebutted, so Sean Combs will remain detained. The judge goes on to say there has been significant violence and around. Also, witnesses, even gentle question can be effective. The type of behavior we're talking about happens behind closed doors. I thank your family members for coming, but I cannot release him.
But this is where it truly gets scary, and the rap industry could literally fall apart. With it being a RICO, we're gonna be seeing people entered into this case every single week. Prosecutors have already presented that they have overwhelming evidence from people involved, from names such as Jay-Z, Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion, Birdman, and even allegedly LeBron James, who mentioned on an IG Live that there is no party like a Diddy party. But comment down below everyone you believe that is involved, because this is gonna be the biggest thing in music history.